Let's unite our energies to form a chain of love that extends beyond physical borders, radiating positivity and compassion.
Ladies and gentlemen, they say that there are more than 100 zillion organisms in this world, of which 7 billion are human beings. Of these 7 billion, many are born, many exist, and many go away, not remembered, not to have contributed anything, and not without any self-realization. There are only few who are not only fired by the curiosity and get self-realized, but still only fewer of them who can elevate others also on this path to self-realization. For us in Coimbatore, in Tamil Nadu, in India, and to many parts of the world, Sadhguru is one person who has influenced how many of us have thought and how many of us are lived. And we are extremely fortunate to have him here today. On behalf of all of you, I would like to say a heartfelt gratitude to Sadhguru for accepting our invitation. It's just fortune, I think, that his busy schedule allowed him to be in Coimbatore. On behalf of all of you, can I please request Sadhguru to
Jananam Sukadam Maranam Karunam Milanam Maduram Smaranam Karunam Bhalavashadiha Sakalam Karunam Samayadipate Akilam Karunam. Namaskaram. Good evening to everyone. I said good evening.
Good evening. Sadhguru, pranams.
I'm very, must be my privilege, I'm with all the doctors here, but already Dr. Rajshekhar told me that I'm not good for business.
No, actually, when we were waiting, Sadhguru told me that he has had many fractures, but it all healed by itself. I told he is not good for our business at all, so… Sadhguru, so we are having a huge audience of more than 5,000 doctors from more than 18 countries, so all my questions are going to be many things that the people have asked you, but I'll ask from a medical angle. So as doctors, this is something that worries us or makes us wonder, because we do see patients who seem to be at the receiving end of the wrong end of fate. How do you explain a patient going in a bus, sitting on the 5th seat in the center, nobody in the front 4 seats get injured, nobody behind him, but he gets grievously injured. And he comes to the hospital, and some people get all the possible complications when they go through the treatment. There are others who are involved in major accidents, but something seems to be helping them to get better so fast. It looks like there is somebody one hand telling, "Thou shalt live," and to the other person, "You have a bad fate, it's time to go.
This is a bad thing coming from a doctor.
Yeah, but it is a fact.
We won't tell anybody. See, what you call as physical dimension of life is a mechanical process. The very fact that you called it an accident, it means something unexpected happens. So, when two mechanical objects collide, what will break is nobody's guess, all right? That's how it is. That's the nature of physical existence. So we should not try to read any mystical dimensions into a simple mechanical situation, that's one aspect of it. But at the same time, as there is gravity, as there is weak and strong nuclear forces, as there are many physical forces which rule the mechanical aspects of life, there is a dimension. This word has become religious, so people will mistake this. Here in Tamil, we call it Arul. It's called grace. This entire culture is based on this, that Indian people, wherever they see anybody, somebody says he is a sage, somebody says he is a saint, somebody says he is a yogi, wherever people want to receive blessings, they want to accumulate. Because they understand that either your mechanical parts can work without lubrication and wear out quickly, you know the joints. If there is no lubrication, any machine will wear out quickly. It doesn't matter how good it is. It doesn't matter how well designed it is, how great it is. If there is no lubrication, it'll wear out. So there is a dimension which… there are many words in Sanskrit, but in English generally it passes off as grace. So if you earned grace, if you have become receptive to grace, there is lubrication. Where there is lubrication, there is no friction. So even a collision may not cause much damage to that one. But we should not read this into everything because mechanical objects, mechanical processes can happen in so many ways that need not be always seen as, some kind of spiritual or mystical stuff. But at the same time, those who are in grace will not get into that bus either. But it does not mean just because you have grace, you will not get injured, you will not die. Maybe it's a good thing for somebody to die today. I'm sorry, I'm saying such a thing. I'm saying for a whole lot of people, many things that they logically think are bad, if they examine it carefully in their life, it might have been the greatest blessing in their life. So, I must tell you this story. Is it okay?
Oh yes, I mean, we love stories.
This happened a few years ago. I like to go into vegetable markets, this is one of my fads. When I'm driving on the highway, if I see a shandy, I will stop, get down and get into the vegetable market. Well, I have no cooking coming, I can't take these vegetables and cook somewhere. But in India, buying vegetables is an art. In our families, they trained us from a very young age how to buy vegetables. For what you must buy, how. Different things. When we were young, our family's boys are trained how to buy fish, how to buy meat, how to buy vegetables, for which dish, what kind of vegetable you must buy, this is a big training process. So, I'm well versed in those things, so I get down and go around, bargain and bargain, because you must bargain, because it's not just about vegetables, this is a kind of an interaction. So I bargain everything. When they come down to my price, I just give them the money, not take the vegetables and go on, because I have not come there for vegetables, I have just come for the experience, just trying my skills. So, one day I went in Bangalore city into a vegetable market. There's a small vegetable shop, very small one. A man was sitting behind, I just looked at him. He was just a shining being. I just looked, my God, what is he doing here? Then he turned and looked at me, our eyes got locked, and I just looked at him and he burst out laughing. I also laughed and went up to him and asked, "What the hell are you doing here, selling vegetables?" Then he said, "You come sit here." So he made me sit in his vegetable shop and he told me his whole story. I'll try to make it very brief. He got sick and he got admitted into a general hospital in Bangalore. A general hospital, general ward is acclimatization to hell, normally, I'm sorry. So he was there and every day he thinks he's going to die, but he doesn't die. One more day, it goes like this. Every day he thinks he's going to die and he doesn't die. After over 2 months, his wife stopped coming to the hospital. She got tired of visiting this guy. He's neither going to die nor to get well. Then the demand for the beds became such, they put him outside in the corridor. With just one sheet, he was in the corridor of the government hospital for another 2 months. Every day he thought he will die, but he did not die. One day, suddenly he realized something, he sat up. Within about 7-8 days, he walked out of the hospital and became ecstatic and blissful. His wife, his family, nobody turned up, but because earlier he was selling vegetables, he continued to sell vegetables for a living. And after almost 3-4 years after such an incident, he saw me for the first time and we kind of buddied up. And I said, "How?" He said, I said, "What do you do here selling vegetables?" He says, "I bless everybody, they must get sick for 4 months." So you never know what will turn out as a blessing.
Sadhguru said about grace. So if grace is something that is going to actually protect us, how do you accumulate this grace? I mean, do you carry it? Because this is one of the things that is always told to us, that some people carry their grace from their previous birth and do something good now so that you will carry this grace to next birth. Is that so? What is this?
Whoa, you're going away too far. See, grace is available to everybody. It's like sunlight. Sunlight is available to everybody, but only those who open their eyes will see. That's the way it is. But is it not there? Is it there only for me, not for you? There's no such thing. It's available for everybody. It's just that, are you receptive? When we talk about receptivity, see the entire process of yoga, the word yoga itself means this. The word yoga means union. Union means what? Right now in most people's experience, it is me versus universe. This is how people are experiencing life. Otherwise, why continuous anxiety, fear? They think they are fighting for their life all the time. Why? They are fighting the whole universe. Individual and the universal. Being in competition with the universe is a stupid thing to do. Hello? No? It's a bad competition to get into. Hello, you must show some sign of life, otherwise I'll have doubts. Hello?
Yes.
What will you do if your patient… What will you do? He has to show some sign of life, isn't it? Because your orthopedics, if you press on their pain points, of course they'll come alive. But I don't have such a privilege. You versus universe, a bad competition to get into, isn't it? So yoga means this, that you consciously obliterate the boundaries of your individuality, that if you sit here, there is not much distinction between what is you and what is the universe. On another level, see, as we sit here, this is my body, that is your body. Do what you want, these two things will not become one. This is my mind, that is your mind. Do what you want, these things will not become one. They may overlap on some issues and we may feel that we are one with each other. But my mind is my mind, your mind is your mind, isn't it? But there is no such thing as my life and your life. This is a living cosmos. You captured a little bit, I captured a little bit. That's about it. But now we think this is my life and that is your life. There is no such thing. This is a living cosmos. You've blown a small bubble, somebody might have blown a little bigger bubble. Did you blow soap bubbles when you were young?
Oh yeah.
You still do?
Yes.
No. So when you blew soap bubbles, somebody had this big bubble, somebody else had that big bubble. Oh, went on saying, this is my bubble, this is your bubble. But poop it went. Once it goes poop, you did not say, this is my air and this is your air. Similarly, there is no such thing as my life and your life. There is just a living cosmos. If you capture more life, then you will see you have more grace. The depth, dimension and scope of your life is determined by how much life you capture within you. It doesn't matter what kind of body you have, what kind of intelligence you have. If you have not captured substantial life within you, you will live a small life, that's how it is. How do you do this? There are systematic ways of approaching this, or simply by involvement and exuberance, by commitment, people may capture a larger life. By absolutely being committed to something, focused on something, somebody may capture a certain amount of life which is more than what is considered normal. But yoga has a systematic process as to how to capture life. I can show you thousands of people around me today. When they came, they thought they won't do anything significant. Half of them, not half, 70% of them are dropouts from schools and colleges and everything. But you will see after a few years of sadhana, suddenly they are functioning in ways that you won't believe possible. Recently we had a business, event called Insight, where over 200 CEOs from across the world are coming and participating. All of them wonder why our organizations don't run as smoothly and efficiently as yours. I said, that's because I have all dropouts who are no good for anything. But they have devotion in their heart, they are devoted to what they're doing, that's all. Because they're absolutely devoted to what they are doing, they may not be MBAs, they may not be from IITs and IIMs, they're simple people, but because they're absolutely devoted, they do wonderful things. So, the question is, how much life have you captured? Always people keep wondering, oh, that guy is not as smart as me, how come he's more successful? This is going on in a whole lot of people's minds who think they are smart. Yes, always. Why is that guy more successful than me? I am smarter than him. Obviously, your smartness is not working because just with one dimension of life, life will not function. The most important thing is how effervescent and large is the nature of life that you've captured. And every one of us have an unlimited access to it. But how much will we take depends on how consciously we conduct our life.
Sadhguru, you said about life, and that brings a big question what doctors have about life. Now they say we have 1 trillion cells in our body, and each of these cells is living by itself. And when you say a patient is no more, it's just that the brain dies after 2 or 3 minutes, but still a large part of his body is still alive. So, and these cells, even when after the patient is dead, you take these cells and put in a culture.
Those of you who are all shaving every day, even after you're dead, we still have to shave you, you know this?
Yeah, the hair grows.
That is why I'm ready,
Yeah, but so what dies when we die. So that brings the question, what leaves us? So where is this life in our body? Is it in our brain, our heart? And what is this life you're talking? Is it in the spine or is it in… where does it reside?
There's so many living people, you can ask them. Where are they? I think the religious beliefs have totally screwed up human mind so badly. Wait. That people cannot even know what's happening within themselves. They know the geography of heaven. Hello? So, people know what is the geography of heaven, where is God sitting, you know, how many children he has, when is his birthday, everything they know. How come they don't know where is their life? Isn't it ridiculous? Hello?
Because we were told, Swami, about the birthday of gods, but nobody is telling us where is our life and what is it.
You are life, aren't you?
Yes, of course.
I hear 4 people, but I'm asking all of you, your life?
Yes.
You must show some sign, huh? So, if you are life, I'm asking you, are you really life?
Yes.
So, how come we know so many things and we don't know what is the nature of our life? Now, you asked why if somebody is dead, still some of the cells are active. As I said, dead bodies are given a shave up to 10–11 days. Why this is so? What we're calling as life physically is a mechanism on many different levels. There is hardware and there is software. You are core of hardware, bones. The software is equally important. Otherwise, how would a cell know that it's a human cell? That it is not a pig cell or a tree cell or something else? How does it know? Because there is an entire software, there is memory, evolutionary memory, genetic memory, karmic memory, there are varieties of memories imposed on every cell in the system so that it never gets confused. If you eat dog food for 3 days, you will not become a dog, isn't it? Because the memory is entrenched in this. So there is a whole software. The software package is actually bigger than the hardware, much bigger. And it is energized by what we are considering as a life force. In yoga, we call this prana. It manifests itself in 5 basic dimensions. There are other forms to it, which gets too complicated. 5 basic forms. These are called pranavayu, samanavayu, apanavayu, udanavayu and vyana. These have different functions. Prana is related to breath, respiratory action and thought process. If the pranavayu depletes, your respiratory action will go away. So immediately doctor checks and says, he's dead. They'll try to pump their chest. If he doesn't come back, he's dead. Respiration and your pulmonary action are very directly connected. Once respiration stops, that process will naturally come to an end. So pranavayu is gone. It's not like one after another they will go. They will go at the same time, but one goes means this is gone. If samanavayu goes, this is in charge of generating heat in the system. So once samanavayu starts receding, the body starts getting cold and it also starts becoming stiff. Once apanavayu starts receding in a major way, then the sensory aspect of it, we must understand this. You may check somebody's breath and declare them dead, but they can still feel sensations. There have been any number of cases where people get terrified because a dead body moves a little bit. This has happened again and again, many times. That when he's been medically declared dead, there are twitchings in the body that happen in a very mild way because the sensory activity is still on. Still, life is not fully convinced that it's finished. It is still making an effort of its own. When udhana vayu goes away, then the buoyancy is gone. When I say buoyancy, see, you may weigh 70 or 80 or whatever number of… I'm sorry, maybe you weigh 50 or 55 kilograms. I don't want the ladies to get… Whatever is your weight, you don't… Let's say you're very happy and alive right now, you don't feel 50 kilograms on you, isn't it? Hello?
Yeah.
It is there. If you stand on the scale, it is there. But when you walk, it is not there, simply because this udhana creates a buoyancy. It makes you less available to gravity. There are yogic practices to activate this. There's a whole school of Udan in China, where you might have seen those movies, Hollywood movies, what is that? Crouching Tiger or something. What?
Yeah.
Yes. So these are Udan schools where they have mastery over Udana, where they can float around a little bit. Well, little exaggerated in the movies, but becomes lighter, more buoyant body. For a martial arts fighter, to be buoyant is important. There have been many cases where certain ballet dancers and martial arts experts have shown what is physically not possible they have done by leaping up to heights which all physicists believe is simply impossible. But they've gone beyond that level simply by creating more buoyancy. So udhana is in charge of buoyancy. Once udhana starts receding, suddenly body becomes heavy. Always it was the same weight. Weight does not increase, but you can feel the weight much more simply because udhana is gone. This doctors may know, maybe doctors don't do it, the people who work in the hospitals may know. Carrying a live person and a dead person, there's a big difference. Simply because udhana is gone, there's no buoyancy. The fourth dimension is called vyana. This is preservative in nature. If vyana recedes, even when you're alive, body will begin to rot. There are certain types of snake venoms which can do this. If they bite you, you will not die, but literally parts of the body will start falling apart simply because vyana will recede and it will start falling apart. So, once vyana recedes, the rotting process will begin. There are systems in yoga where we want all the seven to go reasonably together. Within 1.5 hours, we want it to go. In normal death, depending upon the age of a person, how vibrant a particular body is, it may take a long time. When I say long time, up to 14 hours it may take. Vyana may take up to 14 days to leave. This is the reason why in this culture you have rituals running up to 14 days, because they feel the vyana may be still there, because when you bury a person, the vyana may be still hovering there, so up to 14 days. That is the reason why within 1.5 hours, in this culture, that was the rule, if somebody dies within 1.5 hours, you must cremate them. But then mistakes happened. When they were still alive, somebody put them on the funeral pyre, so they stretched it to 4 hours. Within 4 hours, you must cremate. But today, there are issues, all kinds of issues about it. So, people are waiting for 1 day, 2 days, daughter is in America, she has to come, she'll come after 3 days, and they will wait. But the idea is, for the one who is dead, we must understand this. You don't diagnose people as dead, you declare them dead, right? There's a difference. So when you declare them dead, for you they are dead. As far as that person is concerned, in a way, all that's happened is, he's disembodied. He's lost his body. All his life he lived thinking he's a body, never realizing the physical mass that we carry is an accumulation from this planet. He never realized that. When suddenly he slips out the body, he tends to hover around the body because he's lost his discriminatory intelligence. Once you leave the body, the discriminatory intellect is not there, so this tends to hover around that body. So in this culture we said, the moment we are sure that somebody is dead for sure, you must immediately cremate them because it's good for that dead, so they know the game is up. And it's also good for the living. You will see, if somebody very dear to you is dead and their body is here, you keep on hallucinating. Maybe they're just sleeping, maybe they will sit up, maybe some miracle will happen, maybe something else will happen, this will go on unnecessarily. You will see people are crying and big emotional drama is happening, but the moment you cremate them, you will see everybody become silent. Have you noticed this? Always. Because now everybody knows the game is up. It's for the living and for the dead. So about life leaving the system, it is so entrenched. It is not something, poop, it'll go away like this. In stages, it goes away. Because it's in stages, it came in. It's in stages, it'll go away.
But Swami, like…
Huh?
Sadhguru, I'll come to a different dimension. So, the beginning you said you're skeptic about everything. And I asked you even about God, you said more so. So, what is your opinion about God? We have a different… doctors are confused about what is God.
See, it's very difficult for people to understand this. But people who are with me for 25, 30 years around me closely, even today, I don't have an opinion on them. They are around me all the time, I've seen them in and out, but I don't have an opinion on them. It's very difficult for people to understand this. Every day when I look at them fresh. Only when it comes to work, maybe you will evaluate their competence and decide what to do from what they did yesterday. Otherwise, as human beings, I never judge them for what they were yesterday. Because my entire work is this, that whatever the hell you have been yesterday, whoever you are, whatever kind of parentage you have, whatever kind of history you have, it doesn't matter. If you are willing, tomorrow something fantastic is possible within this life. It is for that possibility that we work. I don't care who your father is, I don't care who your grandfather is. My concern is not even what you're today, my concern is always looking at what you could be tomorrow. If you're not looking out for that possibility, there's no spiritual process. When I don't even have an opinion on anybody around me, why would I have opinion on the Creator? So, because we are human beings, our understanding of life is, when we say life, we think it should be in this form. If all these 212 bones are there, you will certify this is not life. The 212, am I correct?
242.
They've gone up. 242, is it? That's a very important number. Anyway.
Just about 25 years ago, 26 years ago, Viji, my wife, she just came in front of me one day. Actually, it happened where it was some program happening, somebody else's program. I went there and they asked me for lunch and I went and sat down. I came in late, they were all eating and halfway down I went and sat down, on the floor, in rows they're sitting. I was sitting in this row, there was another row in front of me facing me and one more row facing away from me and another row facing me. She's in that row. By then she was already looking at me, beyond these two rows. I just looked at her for 2 minutes And then I started eating my sambar and rice. Sambar was good. Then everybody started completing their meals before me because I came in late and I was eating late. Then she finished her meal, she washed her hands, she came and she sat in front of me and burst out crying. So I didn't look at her, I kept on eating. Then I got up, I went and washed my hands and she came behind me. And she was still crying and crying and crying. Then she wanted to talk to me. I just wrote my home number and I gave it. And I said, only if I pick up, you speak. My dad picks up, don't speak.
One day when we were talking, usually in the evenings, once my husband used to go to the pharmacy, we used to sit on the steps and discuss so many things. That particular day, he told me he met one girl, her name is Viji, and I want to get married to her. So I told her, where is she, she's from, how does she look? He said, no, I will bring her and introduce to you, and I want to inform my parents also. I'm informing you. So I told her, we will be very happy because we will have company, more than a friend. She'll be my co-sister. So I was very excited and eager to meet her. So I think after some time, he brought her to the shop where we have a medical store in Kalidasa Road. So first when I saw her, her simplicity and her smile somehow attracted to me.
And much later, I did not even know that that day it was a festival, and me and Viji, we just rode up to Irpu, where there's a waterfall and a small Rameshwara temple. And when I went there in the evenings, I saw one of the quaintest arrangements that you can see, all green-fronted, small shops and little things. This pakumaram and this coconut fronds, using just that, all little shops just set up for the evening. So this thing just was so enchanting. And then I asked, what is this all about? Then they said, it's Mahashivratri today. Oh, I did not even know because Mahashivratri was never celebrated in our homes for some reason. Then they asked, what is this festival about? They said, this is Shiva got married on this day. Then I told Vijay, okay, we're getting married today. He said, what? He said, yeah. I said, yes, we're getting married today right here. He said, no, we've not told anybody. I said, no need to tell anybody, I'm telling you. And we just got married right there.
Yeah, they were always lovey-dovey couple, if I could use that term. Always glued to each other, smiling, chatting, that sort of thing. They were, a very happy couple.
At that time, this is more or less how they lived. Sadhguru would spend some time in his farm, then he would spend half the month in his farm, another half the month he would teach a class either in Hyderabad or in Mangalore or Coimbatore or Tirupur or one of these towns. So every weekend Vijay would travel to the initiation from Mysore.
There's a place called Handi Honda. Handi Honda means pig's place. On the west coast, there's a place called Handi Honda. So Handi Honda beach was my favorite beach. And I couldn't believe it when much later, after I was married, when I took Viji to the ocean, she was what, 22 or something, and she had never seen an ocean in her life. She lived in Bangalore all her life, she had never seen ocean. And we just went and camped on the beach. This west coast is so phosphorescent. The phosphorescence in some areas is so high. There's a full moon night, and as the night gets darker and the tides get bigger, it's like lit. It's like waves of phosphorus coming at you. She just looked at this and it just got her. Then we mostly sat through the whole night just looking at this thing, and after that she went mad about the ocean. She wanted to go to the ocean all the time. Where you want to go? She wanted to go to the ocean. She got addicted that night.
I mean, whoever knew Sadhguru or Viji, they always knew them as Jagi and Viji. They were always together everywhere in everything that they did, and because there were constantly people around Sadhguru, and their whole, there was no such thing as privacy for them. So it would be all kinds of talk. When you are there, it would be all kinds of talk, and they, it was almost that you didn't exist there, and everything that needed to happen. And constantly there was, so many things would come into focus, which, you can also say it's a part of the spiritual process, which would generally happen in a spiritual process.
It has always been hard for me to explain to people about what Viji is. When I say Viji, I am not referring to her either as my wife or as a woman. Even as a being, she has always been truly wonderful in my experience. But as many of you know, she is a person of very intense emotions. In her childlikeness, she never knew what should be expressed or what should be held back in a group of people. Whatever emotions were within her always found expression, irrespective of the situation. Now this Mahasamadhi, the ultimate aim of all spiritual seekers, she has attained. She has attained with such effortlessness and has proved her worth. To throw this life out of this body without enduring the body, it takes something else. One has to generate a tremendous amount of energy, which requires intense sadhana. She knew the methods to achieve this and she was working towards this. But at this stage, we never imagined that without my assistance, she will be able to generate the necessary energy. Anyway, she would have trodden this path, but the swiftness with which she has achieved this is too much. She made this possible with her love, probably the only thing she knew. All her life, she was very proud that I am her husband. Today I have to say that I am extremely proud that I happen to be her husband. And above all, this is all the intensity that you look for in every disciple around you. As a guru, this is of immense value too, because it is this level of intensity that you always look for.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss any new content and invite your friends to join us on this learning adventure.